So imagine you've been searching for a new home, not just for you, but for your entire species, and you finally find it, a paradise. But what if that paradise is also a poison? That's the incredible dilemma facing a refugee species called the Vornai, and their story really makes you wonder, what does it truly mean for a world to be habitable? And this quote just perfectly sums up the brutal catch-22 at the heart of their story. After this long, desperate journey, they've arrived. But the one thing they need to live, the very light of their new sun, might just be the thing that kills them. So let's start with the promise. Let's see this through the eyes of the lead researcher, Varen, and her team. They've discovered a planet that seems to be, well, everything they've ever been looking for. It's called Nurian 9. I mean, look at this. Nurian 9 ticks every single box. It's what's called a Class M analog. It has an atmosphere we could breathe, confirmed liquid water, and a nice temperate climate. On paper, this isn't just good. It's perfect. This is the jackpot. Or at least it really seems to be. But you know that feeling when something seems a little too good to be true. As hope is peaking, there's this unspoken reservation that starts to creep in. The data looks amazing, but something just feels off. And they soon realize the problem isn't with their beautiful new planet, it's with its sun. And this is where the entire story pivots from one of hope to one of sheer survival. The new sun, Nerian Prime, it looks familiar, but it's hiding an absolutely lethal secret. Okay, so here's the core of the issue. The Vernai evolved under their home star, Calor Sun. It was an older, stable G-type star, a lot like our own sun. Now, their new star, Nerian Prime, is the same type, but with one massive difference. It is 2 billion years younger, and in the life of a star, that age gap changes everything. See, a younger star burns hotter. It puts out way more high-energy radiation. For Nerian Prime, this means it's bathing the planets in 14% more ultraviolet radiation than the Vornai are biologically built to handle. Just 14%. It doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But that tiny number has absolutely devastating consequences. Varen, the chief researcher, asks the exact question that we're all thinking right now. Okay, so what does that actually mean for them? Because this isn't just some abstract science problem anymore, it's a direct threat to their very biology. And this brings us to a really terrifying concept, biological incompatibility. It means that the very sunlight that should be nurturing life on this new world would, for the Vornai, act like a slow, insidious poison. The term they use for this is cosmic incompatibility. It's a fundamental mismatch. Think of it like this. The Vornai biology is like a key, perfectly shaped for a very specific lock, their home star. But in the lock of this new star system, that same key doesn't just fail to turn, it shatters. On a cellular level, what happens is just systematic and brutal. First, the high-energy UV rays just bombard their cells. This causes the protective membranes around the cells to degrade and literally fall apart. And finally, the very DNA at the core unwinds, leading to total, irreversible cell death. It's destruction from the inside out. And the speed of it all is just terrifying. We're not talking about something that happens over generations. We're talking about hours. Within days, the damage is irreversible. And for the most vulnerable, the children and the elderly, this beautiful sunny world would be lethal even faster. So this leaves them with an impossible choice. There are no good options left on the table. Every single path forward comes at an absolutely unbearable cost. Varen's conclusion is just devastating, cosmically homeless. Their own sun is dying, and this new sun is a poison. There are people with no safe harbor anywhere in the universe that they can truly call home. So what can they even do? Well, you can't really call these solutions for living. They're more like strategies for not dying. They can survive, sure, but only as prisoners on their own world, hiding underground, living behind shields, never feeling the sun on their skin or seeing an open sky again. One of the other scientists, Chalira, she asks the one question that just hangs over everything. If you have to give up the very essence of what it means to live freely, are you really surviving? Or have you just found a more comfortable, slower way to die? But a decision has to be made. They can't just stand still. So faced with this impossible dilemma, Varen, the leader, chooses a path forward. And this is her justification. It's defiant, it's pragmatic, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. Living as refugees underground on their own world might be humiliating, yeah, but the only alternative is extinction. So she chooses the difficult life over no life at all. The official report just lays out their new reality in cold, hard terms. The finding? Lethal radiation. The status? Critical. Prognosis? Controlled survival. But it's that final recommendation that seals their fate. Adaptation is mandatory. It's not a choice anymore. It's the absolute condition of their existence. And so, in the end, their new home is there, waiting for them. It is everything they ever wanted, a paradise that is also a poison, a beautiful trap from which there is simply no escape. So, the story of the Vornai leaves us with this huge, lingering question. Is survival just the biological act of continuing to exist, or does it require something more? Freedom, dignity, a real connection to the world around you. What is the true price of living? And is it always worth paying?